And what we're expecting, I think, will start off from what we saw in the first budget and then the mid-year review. Anytime I have an opportunity to speak on this, I try to reiterate the point that what the finance minister will be presenting is two documents in one. He'll be presenting the economic policy of the government for the year, and then he will back it with a budget. Very often people ignore the economic policy part, but that is actually the policy direction, and then he will back it with the budget. So you want to compare it to, first, the manifesto of the NDC, second, the budget and economic policy delivered last year, and then it can guide you into what expectations. In the economic policy and budget that they put out last year, like I mentioned earlier, the first objective was to deepen stability, because the exercise to restore macro stability had started. And in fact, if you read the annual revenue report that the finance minister has presented to Parliament, and then the annual budget performance report that he has presented, he concedes in it that the exercise of stability had started. So the thrust of the economic policy was to restore or to deepen stability, and then to start some of their programs. So that was the bulk of what they wanted to do, to deepen the stability and to start some of their programs. They backed it with a particular fiscal program. By fiscal program, I mean a program to raise and spend. And you also want to look at whether or not that fiscal program had the capability to deliver on the economic policy that they had advertised. So if you look at the fiscal program that first of all, in terms of the economic policy direction, solid. This is what you would do in the first year of your administration, as I recounted from Yaosafo Mafo Kwabena Dufour. It was Mr. Tekwe who had a slightly different scenario, because he was in the second term of an already existing government, and then Ken Ofori-Atta even in the first year. So the economic policy direction, solid. Now look at the fiscal. The government rolled out a fiscal program that sought to tweak some of the revenue handles. In essence, they removed 2 revenue handles. They had advertised that they will remove about 3. They removed 2. Publicly, they mentioned that they were abolishing 6, but 4 of those 6, they were not taxes that were being implemented. So they were yielding 0, like what they call the emissions levy and all of those ones. They were 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Only 2, I think that was betting and then e-levy, were the ones that were actually being collected. Now, once they did that, you should have an expectation that they were going to have revenue shortfalls. I recall some of your conversations I listened to here, where the economists had projected that they were going to have about a 6 billion CD revenue shortfall. And you remember the finance minister said that they will reduce VAT retention rate from 6% to 4% to close that gap.